Okay. First, giving honor to God, my bishop and my pastor, and all the saints of God. I want to thank God for giving this to me a couple months ago or 1 or so ago. That I didn't know that there was so many African American women that was in the Bible, and I thank God for giving me that we had a lot of things in the Bible that we did, and we kept the black man or our men of color. We had their back also, as well as they had ours. So I'm gonna be reading the woman of, what's that, Hagar? Hagar. Okay, I am Hagar. And you can read in the scripture Genesis 16 and 2. And Sarah said unto Abram, behold now, the Lord has restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in until my maid, it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened her voice of Sarah. In her story it says, I had a hard life, very hard. I was born an Egyptian handmaid and was in service to Abraham's wife Sarah. When Sarah couldn't get pregnant, she went to her husband and asked if he would have a child with me, that Sarah could count her own. So Sarah gave me to Abraham to be his wife. But when I got pregnant by Abraham, I really just couldn't stand Sarah. I mean, she had it all. And then she wanted to count my son as her own. It was too much to bear. So I just ran away. I really didn't have anywhere to go. But when I stopped and rest, the angel of God came to me and told me to go back to Sarah and serve her. He promised my son would have the whole nation. What a sacrifice I was asked to make for God. But I didn't hesitate. The God of Abraham was a powerful God, and I believed in him. So I went back and had my baby, whom the Lord called Ishmael, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ishmael. Then, wouldn't you know it, eventually Sarah pops up pregnant.
Yep.
As old as she was, unbelievable. I had not treated Sarah with respect or kindness, and she finally had a son of her own, Isaac. So of course, she didn't want my son anymore, and banished both of us from Abraham's camp. So there we were, out in the wilderness, just my baby and me. I cried because we were out of water. I had trusted God to do what he said, yet there we were, in the middle of nowhere, out of food, out of water, out of energy. But God was faithful and rescued us. I found Ishmael a wife, and he became the father of his own nation with 12 tribes. As for me, I was able to live out my days as a free and blessed woman. And it says, why her? Sarah, being unable to have children on her own, gave Hagar, her Egyptian handmaid, to Abraham. Sarah hoped the slave might conceive a child on her behalf. Hagar did conceive a child, but decided to run away because of Sarah's mistreatment. Pregnant and alone in the middle of the desert, Hagar was confronted with when the angel of the Lord met her and told her to return to Sarah. She promised that through her son a great nation would be established. Hagar returned to Sarah with a renewed sense of purpose. Hagar gave birth to Ishmael, whose name means God's heirs. However, through Ishmael was Abraham's firstborn son. He and his mother were expelled from the tribe. Hagar found herself alone once again, but God heard her cry for help and delivered her. God blessed Hagar and kept his word. Hagar showed great courage and endurance. Once a slave in a foreign nation, she ended her life as a free woman. What a promise from God. You can see Genesis 16, verse 1 through 16, 21 through 6 and 21. And Hagar was Sarah's handmaiden and the mother of Abraham's son Ishmael, and apply her to, as far as my life, is God never promised our lives will be free of trials and tribulations. To the contrary, Jesus told us that as Christians we will face hard times, but that's not the end of the story. Jesus said, "These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. And in the world ye shall have tribulations, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world." This means that no matter how badly you start, and no matter how long the trouble lasts, God will deliver you from it in his glory for you for good. And you can find about Hagar in Genesis chapter 16, verse 1 through 16, Genesis 21, verse 9 through 21, and Genesis 25, verse 12 through 13.
Amen.
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 I have a question. They was from?
Yes, it was black.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and was what we read,
The whole,
it was a lot of African American, where the Egyptians from Ethiopia, well, in the Promised Land, which I didn't know, as it's a lot of women in here that was of color,
no,
and it blessed my soul, and I hope it blesses yours when you hear more of the women of color.
Yeah, do you have purple?
No.
Okay. Loisy? Very good.
Thank you.
Are you ready, Loisy? Or you want me to go ahead?
pretty good.
Oh, stop it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,